Good day, Conservative Free Spirits. Welcome to my channel, Conservative Free Spirit. Thank you for subscribing to my channel, Conservative Free Spirit. I know it's been a couple of days since I have brought you a tarot card of the day, but I am here. Welcome to everyone. As you can see in the thumbnail, we have the World card in reverse. The World card in reverse. And the words that come to mind are, it is time. It is time. Ready or not, whether you have crossed your T's, whether you have dotted your I's, whether you believe that you're ready, whether you studied all night, whether you knew about it, you didn't know about it, whether you told the truth about it or a lie, it is time. So in this card, it has what is known to be the 4 fixed representations of the elements: Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. These are also, in the traditional sense of the Rider-Waite, the names that are mentioned in the book of Revelations, if you're familiar with that. And I guess you don't have to be Christian or religious in any sense to know about that. It's probably, if you're a tarot reader and you've been doing this for quite some time, or if you're interested in the history of tarot, then you know that those references come from the context of the Bible. So I'm wondering if this energy is stating to those fixed energies, it's time. I don't want to say that those are like the representations of the elementals. If you are more affluent of the zodiac signs and you feel that those are the representations of the elements, okay, then comment down below if you know what the actual representations of the water signs are, like the head. I'm talking about the head, the leaders. If you know what the head, the leader is of the earth, the head, the leader of the fire, the head, the leader of water, head, leader of air, please comment down below. But it's a reason that this card came about. So I'm not stating that this reading is only for Leo, Scorpio, Taurus, and Aquarius. I'm saying today is a day to do your research. Find out where these elements lie in your birth chart, because as you know, we have all 12 zodiac signs in our birth chart. So find out where these, zodiac signs, find out where these zodiac signs lie in your birth chart and understand what is it time for. Understand what is about to purge or emerge in these houses where you have these specific zodiac signs. I'm just shuffling right now just because it feels good. And the Queen of Swords pops out reverse. I just put that back. And then the Queen of Pentacles pops out reverse. It is time. It is time for you to have better communication with yourself and with others, for sure. It's time for you to understand that you have to have boundaries for yourself. I don't care what anybody says, you have to have boundaries. You cannot allow yourself to go to extremes or to allow people to go to extremes on you and then cry wolf and cry victim later. And I feel like this is the time where you communicate these things to yourself. You have to have clear communication with yourself. It is time to have clear communication with yourself. What do you like? What don't you like? What will you tolerate? What don't you tolerate? I don't think that this is something that has to be shared with others, but a lot of times when we do communicate opinions and thoughts and ideas with others, other humans, we do get the opportunity to shape and mold and understand that there are other viewpoints out there, there are other conclusions out there that we do not have to agree with, okay? But you can certainly get a well-rounded thought, a well-rounded idea. You can come to a well-rounded conclusion about the idea and thought that you have, further helping you to set your boundary, further helping you to better understand your boundary, further helping you to better come to a conclusion about your boundary. Now, you may come into person after person after person after person who does not agree with or understand your boundary. That doesn't make it wrong, but that can measure the mindset of society, that can measure your mindset, that can measure where you stand, okay? So I'm trying to give you all of these points of views, if you will, all of these, this point of views is just the word of how your boundary can be affected, skewed, how it can be communicated, etc., etc. It doesn't mean you're wrong, doesn't mean they're wrong, but it could mean that you're wrong, and it could mean that they're wrong. Set boundaries for yourselves. Stick to those boundaries. Do you have boundaries? Do you know what you like and what you don't like? Not what others say you like and don't like. Not what others say, oh, well, you seem like, well, I thought you were. Well, to me, no, not that. Do you have boundaries in your life? Do you know what your boundaries are as far as it pertains to other people? Do you? Do you know what you allow, what you don't allow, other people to say to you, to do to you, how to treat you? It is time. It is time. So with that, these cards coming out in reverse, I just feel like there is a birthing. Have you ever heard of someone not even knowing that they were pregnant and going into birth? I've encountered a few people, going into labor, I've encountered a few people like that. I've read stories of it, heard stories of it. A lot of you aren't even going to know that you're pregnant. And just out of nowhere, some labor pains, some birthing pains are going to come upon you. And this is like reality wise and figuratively, spiritually wise. You're not even going to know what's going on. You're probably still having a cycle. Your female counterpart is probably still having her cycle, going about her day, working out, living life. Still smoking a little bud every now and again, smoking a little cigarette, drinking a little alcohol. I'm not saying that's good or bad. I'm just saying that this is reality, people. We're focusing on reality right now. People are going to be going about their everyday normal lives, and all of a sudden birthing pains are going to come upon them, whether you do drugs or whether you don't. Okay? It is time. Some of you have been given the opportunity to get it right, to change it, to exercise it off, to get rid of it, to ignore it, and you have yet to do so. And then all of a sudden, something is going to come upon that says, hey, we're done with that. And it's over, it's finished, you're moved, you're relocated, you're no longer in that space. Some of you have been dealing with someone that has been giving you chance after chance after chance to get it right, to communicate effectively, to love them wholeheartedly, to be emotionally available, to say, you know what, I'm going to respect myself and I'm going to respect them, and I'm no longer going to be disrespectful in whichever context that is. Today it's too late. If you didn't get it right, if you don't recognize it today, it is too late. And you are going to see that today. You're going to see that manifestation today of that person who you really, truly loved, but you just didn't have the heart to tell them. Of that person that you truly loved, that you had a connection with, but you just didn't have the heart to settle down with them. You just, they'll be around. They'll stick around. I can hit them one more time. I can curse them out one more time. I can sex them one more time. He ain't going nowhere. She ain't going nowhere. I know they told me, that they like a clean house. I know they told me that they like for me to cook for them. I know that they told me, that they like for me to put gas in their car and open their doors. I know that's what they said, but she ain't going nowhere. He ain't going nowhere. Ooh, you in for a rude awakening today. Today of what is known to be December 22nd, 2019. Just right now, because that's what's on my computer. If you're watching this live, your time zone may be totally different. You might be at 11, 10, or 9, or even another time, 9 p.m., wherever you're located. It might be the 23rd or the 21st, wherever you're located. In this moment, when you watch this video, whatever time you watch this video, you're going to be in for a rude awakening on that part. It is time for you to get your finances in order. You're too old to be making the mistakes that you are making. You're too old, or the appearance or the illusion of being too mature. God, all the queens are coming out in reverse. You're too old, you're too mature looking, you're too mature talking, you're too mature behaving, you're too mature existing to be making these financial mistakes that you're making, whatever that means to you. It is time. It is time today. It is time. You're too mature to be acting the way that you're acting. Now, understand this. I'm still twerking. I'm not saying this right. I still wear two pieces, I work out, so I can wear two pieces, I still wear short dresses, tight jeans. But, I still wear tennis shoes and baggy pants and baggy shirts and all that stuff like that, I work out so I can do those things, and then don't feel like it, I don't. So whatever is for you, your boundary that you have been telling yourself, that the universe has been telling you, I'm just letting you know. Sometimes it's not, maybe sometimes it's other people delivering these messages to you, maybe sometimes it's not. But whatever you know, you are too mature, too old, too wise, too something in your existence to be so ill about, to be so irresponsible about. You're too old to be too dirty. You're too old to be too filthy, too nasty, too irresponsible, to not have boundaries, to not love yourself. You're too old for this. And it don't matter right now if you're 50 years old watching this, or if you're 18, or I don't know. I hope it's not nobody younger, but it is the internet. So whatever the case may be. Right now, you're too old for that. You're too mature for that. And even if you're not, your age is too something for that, or your experience in this field, in this situation, in this relationship. Your experience is, you're overqualified to be doing what it is that you're doing. If it's relationships, you know how you want to be treated. You know how you feel when someone hurts your feelings. You know how you feel when somebody steals from you, when somebody takes from you, when somebody disrespects you, whether you cry in front of everyone, or whether you cry at home, or whether you take a drink, or whether you take a smoke. However you feel when somebody breaks your heart, masculine and feminine energy alike. You know how you feel when you're disrespected, when you're trampled over, when you're disregarded. You know how that makes you feel. So why would you do that to someone else? You're too old for this. It is time for change. Today, expect a noticeable change to occur in your mental. You might be saying some things that you probably never said before, or you might be hearing some things that you probably never heard before. In your finances, in your relationships with the past and with the current. You might be acting a different way. You might be deciding to go walking today. It is time for change. Something noticeable. It's going to be something very noticeable. It is time for you to discontinue becoming a victim, because you got boundaries now. It's time for you to discontinue becoming a victim, because now you're thinking clearly. Now you're thinking independently. Now you're thinking for yourself. Now you're making sure that I am loved. Now you're making sure that I am respected. You're making sure of that. So you're not leaning on someone else to do that for you. You're not dependent on a relationship to do that for you. Today is the day. It is time. Today is the day. It is time. You're not using and abusing people anymore, because today is the day that ends, that discontinues. Maybe noticeably, your person is just going to disappear, walk out. They're going to say their piece to you. They've probably been planning and plotting for days, weeks, months, years. And today is the day that they say goodbye. Or they don't say goodbye and they're just out. Or that you don't say goodbye and you're out. Today is the day. It is time. For some of you, this is the birthing of the idea to start your own business. Wondering why you keep getting fired from jobs, wondering why you keep quitting jobs. It may be time for you to move along and try another industry today, for you to do something different, for you to take a break. I'm trying to see if there are any more messages that are coming through. For some of you, today is the day that you give up on something. I feel like this is a financial something. Something that, and this could be like in the career realms as well, as far as what I just said, wondering why you're getting fired from jobs, why you're quitting jobs. Your jobs only last a certain amount of time, you know, regardless how amazing the job is or you think it is. And that's kind of somewhere where I fell into as well. You know, hated working, despised working in a traditional sense. Every time I got fired or every time I quit a job, I was back putting an application. Why is that? That's insanity, right? Today is the day that you stop depending on the paycheck or the handout or the opportunity that's never coming, the lifestyle that's never coming. So that could either mean that you're going to make it yourself, you're going to create it yourself, or you're just going to be done with that and you're going to face reality. For some of you, it is time for you to face reality. Today is a day of reality. Actual, tangible, noticeable things occurring today that say, hey, that's over, that's done with, that's no longer. That way of thinking, acting, believing, that way of spending, that way of existing is no longer sufficient for the next level, the next day, the next lifetime, the next phase, the next stage, whatever that is for you. The World card in reverse is saying it is time. Now, if you didn't get prepared for all of this, if you didn't make the changes, if you didn't see the red flags, if you didn't study, if you didn't notice, your bad, your fault. Oh well. We're letting that go today, or I'm snatching it from you today, or they're going away today, or you're going away today. It's being released today. It's no longer existing today. Be sure to look in your birth chart to see where that Taurus, Scorpio, Leo, Aquarius energy lies. This is going to be heavily influenced for you. And that's for all signs, whatever your sun sign, moon, first house, blah, 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 whatever that is. We're not talking about that today. We're talking about your individual birth chart. Find out where these signs lie for yourself. You know, you can Google birth chart online. You can pull up your own birth chart. See it for yourself first before you approach someone else to do it for you. Before you pay someone else to do it for you, see it for yourself first today. That could be something else as well. The World card is saying it is time for the ignorance of yourself, of thyself, to discontinue as well. And you got to start somewhere. I mean, you know, it's a lot of things that I wish I knew in my teenage years. A lot of things. But unfortunately, I'm just now learning them now. I'm just now experiencing them now. I'm just now recognizing them now. I'm just now becoming a part of it now. And that's just the way that it is. It is time now. It is time today. Some of you also could be saying or deciding, the universe could be stating that it is time for some ways of a heavy maternal influence to discontinue. It's probably time for you to start your own traditions. It's time for you to, figure out your own ways of life and learn some truths. You might actually learn that what people have been telling you, what you have grown to know to be your truth, was actually a lie. Some of you may also be getting some energy from someone in the past or someone that you've been connected to for quite some time, all your life. And now y'all are having a conversation today, a heart to heart, or they're contacting you in some kind of way, and they're rectifying a situation. Probably someone you hate. Probably someone who made you feel like a victim. A grandmother, an aunt, a mother, a motherly figure, or a parental figure. It doesn't have to be that. It could also be, an old job, even some test results, some health test results, even a relationship. I implore you, I encourage you to listen. To listen. Did you hear that? I didn't say communicate. I said to listen. To listen. Listen to the mindset of this person. Listen to where the heart is of this person. This person may be totally delirious. That's why they behave the way they behave. This person might be totally emotionally blocked off. That's why they behave the way that they behave. This person might be totally right. That's why they behaved the way that they behave. I implore you, I encourage you to listen. They're contacting you. Now, of course, I'm always an advocate for safety. If you're in a unsafe situation, people showing up at your house that you don't feel completely comfortable with, people finding you in dark spaces and dark places and all that stuff like that, no. But if somebody is, calling you on the phone and you're okay with that, if someone is sending you an email or a text message or whatever, and you're okay with that, okay. If someone is showing up at your home and you're okay with that, okay. But if you feel unsafe or uncomfortable, then you need to immediately discontinue that situation and seek safety. So I'm not saying be a fool, okay? But I feel like it is time. Today is the day that you will receive some heartfelt communication. Even if you don't feel that this person is truthful, that this person is sincere, allow them to tell their truth today. Regardless how skewed it is, confusing it is, whatever the case may be, allow them to do that. Because they're already in their karma if, this is how they're thinking, this is how they're behaving, this is how they're existing. Once they're done, ask them if they're through. And if you feel that closure, if you don't have the need to say anything, tell them, okay, thank you for contacting me. I hope that you enjoy the rest of your day. Hang up. If you feel the need to communicate with them, still let them know, thank you for communicating with me. Thank you for sharing with me. I feel, I know, I believe, and let that be that. If a argument ensues after they said what they said and you said what you said, and you feel that tension, you feel that arising, thank you for contacting me. Thank you for sharing your opinion. Thank you for allowing me to share my opinion. Have a good day. Hang up. It is time. That concludes your reading. Thank you to all of my conservative free spirits out there. I hope that you have a wonderful day. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. Thank you for commenting on my channel. Thank you for liking this video. Take care.